Prem Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Sitaram, everybody. Good morning. We are about to begin our third morning of Bhagwat discourse. In addition, we have the first day of a Dig Mass. Before we do Arti, sitting where you are, let's put our hands together. There's a couple of prayer we have to see. Those of you that are viewing this morning, wherever you may be, and if you're looking on the repeat, you can still pray along. We are going to do something called the Rina Mochan Narasim Stotra. It's taken from the Narsing Puran, that form of Lord Vishnu where he has the lion's head. Shortly in our discourses, we'll be talking about him soon. Om Devatakara Siddhyartam Sambastamba Samudbhavam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet Lakshmeya Lingita Vamagam Bhaktanam Varadayakam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayed. Prabhu, you came from a pillar. Whilst we have different thoughts of where God lives and God comes, when Hiranyakashipu slaps the post and he says, if your Vishnu is so good, if he is so great, let him come from this post. That is where you took avatar in that moment. Antaramala Dara Shanka Chakra Bhayudya Dharanim Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet Samaratna Sarva Papa Jnanam Kadruja Vishwanashanam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet. When a person is being attacked by sins, when a person has poison in different forms in their life, you are the one who comes with your claws. You are the one that comes with your different ferocity to destroy these attacks. Please protect me. Simhana Dhena Mahata Digadhanti Bhayanashanam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet Prahalad Varadam Shirasham Dyaiteshwara Vidharanam Shri Narasimha Viram Namami Rina Muktayet Krura Granam Pidanam Bhaktanam Abhya Pradhanam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet Veda Vidanta Yagnesham Brahma Rudra Adi Vanditam Shri Narasimha Mahaviram Namami Rina Muktayet. Rina Mochan is a form, is a prayer. When a person is burdened, overburdened by financial losses, constant debt, a person is trying to dig themselves out of these obligations, and you feel as if your job, your money is so unstable. You have no security, but the bills keep coming. In this example, there are different forms that we pray, Rina Mochan, where you ask that the debts that I have, I get to control it. In this example of this prayer, as we start our Dig Mass, our Purushottam Mass, Lord Vishnu, please protect me, help me, and allow me to become free from all the obligations, all the debts, etc. Whosoever should chant this prayer, calling upon Lord Vishnu consciously, design freedom from debts, immediately overcomes the financial problems that that person may be going through. Lakshmi lives where that person is. Lakshmi walks where that person is. And if a person, because of mistakes, because of prayers, because of bad prayers, bad fasting, or any bad activity, lost the barakat or the Lakshmi by virtue of this type of puja to Narsingh Baba, the Rina Mochan Stotra, let that person become opulent. Let that person get back the luster. Let them get back that Lakshmi so that they can see change in their life. Ya idam pat nityam Rina Mochana samnitam Arini jayate sadyo Dhyanam shigram vapnoti. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Let's all stand as we begin this morning with Arti. Okay. Oh yeah, get out of here. Sajam cham Varti sanyuktam Grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokya timidapaham. Jai Jai Bhagwat भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती। ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ पंचन वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ ये पंचन वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग की मंगल की आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत स्वापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत स्वापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला। हे सुख करनी हे दुख हरनी, हे सुख करनी हे दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन की आरती, पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की तारती, पापियों को पाप से तारती।
ये मर्द बोल जग पंड को सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। ये मर्द बोल जग पंड को सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, सबकी महिमा की आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की है तारती। पापियों को पाप से तारती, जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल,
नंद नंद गोपाल,
आनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल, हे नंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल, आनंद नंद गोपाल।
ॐ गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपेतजम्बो फलचारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजं। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Everyone, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. This morning, welcome to the stage these young people. And Kanheya is coming to play drum. Baby, you know what I have? I have a mridanga. You just play that? Yeah? And we'll rock up that mridanga for me. Mridanga. He's a man to play. So we'll get a little Christian chant, right? Go. Going good? Yesterday evening we did, just to recap for everybody who's logging on, as well as those here, we did the prelude to the Ajamila discourse. And in it we heard how Ved Vyas takes the Vedic knowledge and he's trying to build an example for children to understand. So this part where we discussed last night is where Parikshit is asking about how to overcome. What is the purpose of the Bhagwat? What is the purpose of listening to all these things? How do I really gain the blessing? And he started to tell him, you have to learn to listen to prayer, watch the prayer, eat what comes from the prayer, the prasad, the panchamrit, the charanamrit, etc. And by doing these things, looking at the arti, taking the heat, passing it over your body, simple example, the person is now going to clean their slate of the sin. Guruji makes a point, he says, sometimes people think, you know what, I'll live a life and one day I will be able to find God. One day I'll have time, I'll be old, I'll be maybe retired, I'll have the time then, Pandit, to go and sit down and pray. And Guruji says, are you sure about tomorrow? Do you really have confidence that you will have tomorrow? So he says the person, the knowledgeable person, should endeavor to do seva, charity, different things now, whilst health, whilst the life is within the body. Do what you could do now. So for example, imagine for those of you that have gone on Tirat, places like the Ganges, or in Trinidad, we have the Aripo River. Whilst you have health and you could walk up some step, go. Don't wait until you're in a cane or in a wheelchair and then you go watch it and say, I wish I could go. I wish you could have given me that opportunity to go. And then the moment passes. The truth is what we do, and we was talking about that, Parikshit says, so when is the right time for prayer? He says, no. Because what you do is God gave you time. Every time you celebrate a birthday is something God give you. But we take the time and then we start to give it to other people. Baba, here come the prayers, you know what? Child have homework, I have to do this in the business, the wife need me at home, and you start to serve, you really become a servant. When you look at in the life of the wife or the mother, there's no greater servant. Because she starts to cook what the children want, what the husband wants. It could be a technical cook, but she'll take the time to do it to please them, make them happy, comfortable, make sure and press his shirt so that he's looking the way he have to look. You take the time to do all of this when you really watch back yourself, how much you do for yourself. If you monitor your time for a week, male or female, how much you do for yourself. You bring your drum frame, right? Good. So listening to it, Parikshit heard all the rules, learned to practice devotion in whichever way. So it means, okay, maybe I can't be in Trinidad right now, but I'll view it on my device. I'll watch it home. Maybe I'm in the hospital recovering from surgery, but I'll still make the time to watch a little piece of the Bhagwat. And if God bless the thing called YouTube, I could go and pause on it and pull him back when I'm ready. And go over, so the thing getting better. I could do my work, I could do my housework, and I could still enjoy my satsang. This morning we're going to continue because we have to listen. There are some discourses just as, and in addition to that, we did the discourse from Skand Puran. I read it because there's a lot of confusion about this thing called Adig Mas. Remember a long time we only had one Navratri, and then we read a little more, Navratam come. It had a time we used to do Shivratri till 12 o'clock in the night, one pahar, make the offering, and that was the end of it. Auntie Max, remember that? We used to wake up till 12 o'clock and one little thing. And then we read more and we realize, but wait, now this Shivratri, we are doing it too correct. We have to wake properly to the next morning with the rising of the sun. Navratri, it had people used to offer flesh and meat in the Navratri puja. In this village, I'm telling you the truth. In this village, the poor pandit come, he do his prayer sada, real nice, real good, sattvic offering. And when the Baba go and he turn it back, well, whoever pass away, they like this and they like curry that and da 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 da. 6 o'clock in the evening, that going down by the kush grass, you know. And when they learn a little more, like when we get into the discourse, if you watch this picture on the side where Lord Vishnu have the boar head, Varaha, watch up where Hanuman Baba is here. 5 head, you see one looking like a pig for children, a same pig. But that boar head, thank you. That boar head form, when he take form, he said, well, Lord Shiva is always come to tell Lord Vishnu, hey, time to go. Come on, you do your work, come on. That is Lord Shiva's job, and he loved that position. In this case, it had a little fight between the two of them to get him to leave. He doesn't want to leave. And in the moment now where it's time for Lord Vishnu to move on, he says, Shiv Baba, there's no, like what we go say, Ramayana, Gita with Krishna and Ram. It have no record, it have no text associated with this form. People will forget this form, and all my effort will be in vain. He says, no. In that discourse, he gets married to Mother Earth. Prithvi is his wife. They have 3 sons. These 3 sons, he's begging, make them something. So in the normal havan, in your cooking, let's say havan or your normal house fire, in the fire that eats the flesh and the hair in a funeral, you have different forms of Agni. One common name, Kravyad Agni. And you had these 3 sons of that Varaha becoming these 3 different Agni, and they become immortalized, because depending on the prayers that you are doing, we are doing clean offerings here. They are offering Rajasic offering with pepper, seasoning, and they're still feeding the fire. And when you have a funeral now, you have hair, flesh, bone, unclean offering, please still take it. The fire is called in these ways, and this is why he did that. Then Lord Shiva says, you know what you did? Don't feel like you waste your time, you know. In Hindi, the word for smile or happy is kushi. He says, Prabhu, when you came here, you brought the happiness back to Mother Earth. Last time we talked about how when everybody bowing, you know, as Hindus we bowing, but we don't really know why we bow and make the contact. The energy, you're pulling the energy. Dear God, give me the energy to get the health, the happiness in this house, in this marriage, oh God. You waited on me yesterday, you're married 50, how much? 56? 57 years? You could imagine living for 57 years, more or less married to somebody for 57 years. That is a blessing, eh? I telling you, that didn't come just so. That is good people that did good to get good, to enjoy good. When the person bow, God bless me to understand this other person, so that we could have 57. For some people, they don't understand each other. They can't make 57 days. Some people don't get that. So you and I who don't have it, we want it. Mother, give me. And you see the little zombie that is caused man to behave bad, women to behave bad, that's why you're barefoot. Let it sink to the earth. Let the negative energy go somewhere. Come off of me, man. Jari yourself, that way you're doing the energy of God in different ways. Take out the bad side of me, because we all could be a little ruckus when we're ready. Mother Earth is full with all this negative energy. And Lord Vishnu, in different times, yes, we know Lord Krishna, yes, we know Sri Ram very well. But that Varaha form, the nursing form, are examples when he comes earlier to say, Mother, I'm still going to help you. And you see the things that are causing people sickness, pain, the disease. Not only, when you hear people say the demon, don't feel it's a living entity alone, you know. When we go to Puran, it says the diseases are the workers of these forms that bring an end to a person, right? So Lord Shiva said, Prabhu, you brought back the happiness. So you see every place your foot press in this battlefield, a grass going to grow. In that grass, the root is Lord Shiva, Brahma, sorry. The middle part, the stem, Lord Shiva will be there. And the tip will be Lord Vishnu. The 3 of us will stand in this grass. And because you brought back the kushi, the happiness, we'll call it kusha. Kusha, happiness bringing, happiness granting grass. That up to now, Pandit Varun is putting ring on people's hand. Kusha Setu Deva, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. If it was mango, arm is mango. But we don't say arm in the mantra. When you're sitting by your bedi, this is why you sit, whether home or here in the Yagna Shala, This is why you always sit on your kush grass. The three of them are holding you and protecting you from the attack of negative people. This is why you're offering the turban, you're holding the grass in your hand. This is why when you're offering the turban, as you do in a dig mass, you're praying. When people die, you have to pray. You're offering it on who? When you bathe that one grass, are bathing it on the three of them. Because if we go in a different country when it's winter and you have kush grass, they put a nice murti, maybe like this material, and you're still bathing your cushion. Today we have that Govardhan in front. Who is that Govardhan? When we reach that discourse, you will hear the same Vishnu take the form of the land, and he appeared and he said, "Oh people, all you offer in prasad, I will eat the prasad. I will accept it, no problem." So all you have in front of you there is flags for the Chausat. You have Govardhan, you have Tulsi, you have Krishna. All the same energy, but just in different form. It have Ganesh Baba, how we know him here. When people have, imagine I have a child that has a rage problem. There are children like that. They don't know how to handle different circumstance, different stress. They're going to school, and what's happening in their house with parents, they're taking it out, like a bully situation on other children. Let that child worship the blood red form, a red, like this red cloth, red form of Ganesh. Sindura Ganapati. If you have a person in a marriage who is abusive, they're getting on, they're acting up, they're behaving, the Hindu goes to that form and says, Ganesh Baba, just as how there was a demon called Sindura, and he swallowed him whole. And the demon started to put his hands to burn Ganesh Baba from the inside. So he gets very red. If those of you here in the Yagishala, in the corner down at the bottom, you see a little one, red. When children have different forms of, special children, eye problem, mental problem, hormonal problem, regardless the age, there's a form of Ganesh Baba in green, or in some cases they put him at 5 head. Just as how Hanuman Baba has 5 head. If you go there, you'll see Hidamba Ganapati or Panchmukh Ganesh. Worship that form and believe it. Children could grow out of certain traits that come with autism or Asperger. The loud speaking, the tiptoeing, they cannot hear the song. The same child will come back and say, okay, Panditji, blow the song. I'm accustomed, I'm normalizing, I'm becoming accustomed with the noise, and I can handle it. The parents who are going through those type of things are looking for help. If you know your God, you'll get the help. Many times people say, because if we read the text like the first night when we were talking, what is the purpose of your Bhagwat? When things are possessing a person, when things are touching women, for example, on their bed in a sexual way, leaving marks, scrapes, digs, etc. on their body, how to fix it? Listen to Bhagwat. When people have the history in their family to offer blood, hog sacrifice, goat sacrifice, and different things, but I don't want to do that. But as I stop, I realize the sons, the babies in the family are dying, miscarriage, study happening. What do you do? How could you solve it? Use Bhagwat in particular month, not necessarily this month. And you, by listening, that sin, the problem that causing is cut. This is where if you hear people doing Bhagwat 5 years in concession, 3 years in concession, depending on what is happening to their children and grandchildren, this is why they do it. If you go again in that corner just to paint the picture, there's a form of Ganesh where he's black. This Ganesh. Uchista Ganapati. When people have hard to heal, when there's rotting limbs, the disease is spreading and there's no way to hold or to abate the sickness. You worship same, and when I say worship, I mean the normal do brass, normal laddu, etc. But he says, I'm the remover of obstacles. Easy. I get rid of the problems. But depending on the problem, I have a different form. So when Ganesh Utsav come, and you hear the chanting the different name of Ganesh, where he has 4 hands, where he has 2 head, 5 head, 7 head, different colors as we see in, then the Hindu learn that the different name is for different problem. That's not too hard to understand. If I go to a doctor and I see a red tablet and a blue tablet, and the doctor said the red one is for headache and the blue one is for arthritis. Okay, Babs. Okay, doc, sorry. In the same way, if I use my God in the right name, in the right way, in the right parsa, the right attitude, I am going to get the help. Abuse the tablet, you could get sick. Abuse the prayers, you could get damage. Sometimes we focus so much on the recipe for the prasad, like Darius and his children and them, they're making sure they're measuring every gram of flour. They want to try extra raisin in the pot. And that is good. But what about the person now who offer in the prasad? We don't get to talk about that too much. Bhagwat Dharma is attacking you. It is showing up now that I have a certain bad habit and I want to cut it out. I want to be better. Who are you being better for? We're walking closer and closer to Christian. We're getting ready for Christian. But so many people hear some of these discourse and one ear is gone in, one ear is come out. Like a child, you are not making a change. But if, when you listen to Bhagwat, if you are not feeling the praise, if you are not feeling the devotion, I understand what Parikshit is going through. He made a mistake and he wants to atone. I make mistakes and I want to get sorry, but it's just I don't know what to do. I want to see change in my family. I want to see change in my health. I want to see change, like that nursing prayers we said this morning. I want to see change in my pocket, to be honest. It's very nice to say you're praying to God, but if you cannot pay your bills, what about that? So then it have to have a praise. Remember, Rina Mochan, you will see that in Mangal Devta, you will see that in nursing. It attacks, you see, when the debts are squeezing the person. This is a praise to only attack that. Bless me to pay the credit card. Bless me to pay the mortgage. Bless me to save. If it's $20 to $200, whatever it is, but bless me to save. Bless my hand to have. Then when you have a particular problem and you learn the particular remedy, then you might start to see the change. But you know what we just do? Imagine I went to the hospital and they say, we have Kafanol. You have diabetes problem, take a Kafanol. You have a headache problem, take a Kafanol. You have a back pain, take a Kafanol. Then you go say, wait, that pundit mad, that doctor mad. That madness. But we just do that with prayers. I know Om Namah Shivaya and that's it. That is it. And you know what is happening to the typical person? You get burned out. Because you're doing the prayers. You're doing your part. You're doing the part. You did, you fast, you put on the clothes, you cook the parsad, you did everything. And I'm waiting to see the change. Truthfully, I am doing the best I could. And this is something that affects a lot of Hindu people. Because you don't know better. You don't see that you are deficient. And this is part of what Kali Yuga does. A person is fooling themselves and doing it, you know. But it's only when, let's just say, let me use children. A child could tell parent, I am a good boy, but it's throw tantrum when he's ready. But when you associate the child with children that are a little more behaved, they know about, a simple example, to come in the temple and say, Sitaram, auntie, uncle. That child will pick sense from nonsense and very quickly adopt what is right behavior. We see it every time. Children can't talk. When you put them to lime and play with other children, talk coming. What adults wish they could do. So our text, for example, always preach associate with saintly people. It doesn't mean pundit. Saintly people is rightly thinking, rightly acting, people with experience in prayer. That could tell you, listen, offer the dar with your right hand, you're going to get more blessing. Do the prayers. Offer it this way. Whisper the prayers. Try. If you do it better, you'll see it might work. And what maybe the pundit, if the pundit talk to you, might feel bad. As a lady, as a young person, maybe the pundit rough you. But when auntie do it with a little extra sugar in her mouth, and she says, son, don't worry, I won't tell nobody. Do it this way, don't do it that way. That is the love of that lady will save that child because now your devotion improve. Parikshit comes and he wants to understand all what we're talking about here. But he didn't get it. And this is why we celebrate Guru Purnima. Everything we talk about here does not have a name. It doesn't have a personality like a star boy in a movie. It didn't have that. It had rules. Do it this way, practice devotion this way, and you will get it. Parikshit, just like Arjun comes back and he tells him, I don't understand nothing you're talking about. I am a kind of foolish fella. My brain kind of weak. Explain it with an example. Tell me about somebody who used it and how they benefit. And then maybe I could get it. Let me go into a discourse with that this morning. Put your hands together. Come, babe, come, babe, come, babe. I waited on you. Come on. Close your eyes. Those of you at home, pray with me. We're going to do our Sumiran and ask Lord Krishna to help. You understand and you learn and bless me to change and better myself. Redhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadhana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Varambar Madana Kadana Bhutanath Bhavaya Harana Bhakti Vishay Nirvan Gaura Varana Mangala Karana He Brajadandra Mukunda Brajadushana Bhushana Harana Kartaho enter into Scan 6, chapter 1, where we're continuing from verse 21. Let's hear what the example that he wants to give and how does it apply to the practice that not only the individual does, but what we sometimes have to do. In doing these things, when you hear Christian discourse, when you listen to Christian, then the emotion of devotion is going to interfere and affect you. Why I say interfere? It'll cause you from going off track. You will be forced. Krishna wants me to do better. Krishna wants me to do better. And it shakes the person. The person cannot act in their sinful ways, but they are forced to do the will of God. Let's hear what happens as we enter this section. Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Kanya Kujaye Dvij Kinchit Sanparitaye Dvij Malya Namna Nrishta Sadcharo Sangaraye पृष्ठिए आती जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम 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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम. In the city of Kanuj, keep playing baby. Kanuj, what was once called Kanyakubj, there lived this Brahman. He's born in a very illustrious family. Father taught him everything. All the traits, all the prayers, did all the sanskar, praying while the child, prenatal, while the child is within the womb. Dear God, bless this child. In the 3 months, you pray for the brain and all the nerves, all the synapses. Let everything work properly down the spine. Let the nerve web is forming, the body, the little lump of flesh is forming within the mother. Let it form properly. Let them act properly. Good. 6 months reach. They do the sanskar where they pray. Now the liver, the kidney, the heart is forming. Allow it to form properly so that 10 toes, 10 fingers, let this child be perfect. 8 months reach. They do Shashti Puja. They do Shashti Mata Puja for the mother that she must go and make the baby safely and come out. Bless the baby to turn. Bless the child to be born in such a way that they have a normal life. Do not allow this child to be breached. Do not allow this child to be born in bad time. Do not allow this child to have to do different type of kal sarap. Those when they are born with the sap and the snake on their back. Don't give them that trouble. The father made sure he was very, very responsible, and he does the prayer. Ajamila is born, and Anna Prashana, they do the different sanskar when they're meeting the sun and the moon. The father is holding the baby as he offers back the child by the spine. He says, "Dear God, may all my ancestors be blessed because of the life that this child will live. The choices this child will live will uplift me whilst I'm alive as a father. And when my life goes, my grandfather, my Aja, my different people, all of them will live. For this reason, I call him Putra. I call, if it's a daughter, Putri. That is section of Put. Just by their choices in this life, a child would save parents. For this reason, the father takes up the mantle now. Mother makes the child. Mother imbibes the bone, makes the milk, and grows the child within the body. But when the child comes into the world, who is the real person to encourage and support and teach that child? The father. Immediately the father is the person in charge. He's the one who starts to teach, to instill certain principles. When somebody, we talk a lot about RT and mommy, but do you understand why you're RT a father? When you're RT a father, you see that we owe him certain things. You ever hear somebody say, wow, when you talk, you remind me of your father, boy. You see how you do that? You remind me, a mother might see the husband in this child now, how we talking. That I owe daddy for that. I have to lift his coffin one day to pay back for that. He didn't give me milk, but he gave me my name. He gave me my genetics, my features. That part is in Shakun Sastra where they say, if a boy resembles his mother, he is destined to be very lucky. He's going to be lucky. So when you hear in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagwat, they say they hold the child and they're watching the child and they're seeing good or godly marks. Those things are what we are talking about. Ajamila father did all that he had to do. All the prayers, the child is growing. Let's hear what happens. Bole Baba Tab Sharana. Sakshi Devascha Sarva Hridaya Vridhayate Vridhi ये सौचत तयमास देहि देहि आची जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय
साम सदा शिव तब शरणम जय साम सदा शिव तब शरणम.
When the child is growing, the father is doing the prayer. Child reach 1 year old. How does a Hindu celebrate 1 year? They go to cut the hair. And they leave the little piece of hair. And they cut with the kush grass. They make a bow in front. The bow to the back, this side. And they call on Mahavishnu in different forms. And they snip this first hair. They bury it under a fig tree. Fig tree is the primary spot for it. If you don't have a fig tree, then you might find another spot or a different place. But that here is very auspicious and it can also be used for nefarious reasons. So the father goes and he digs a deep hole to hide that here from the claws of negative people. God, protect my child. Protect my child. Protect the child's brain. Allow the child to develop. Child is growing, so then you go have swimming class, music class, every class you could think about. The father says, you know what, I don't know how to teach swimming. I could swim, that don't mean I could teach you how to swim. Yeah, patience, faith, you know what, I will get you somebody, Vidya Guru, somebody who could do that. I don't know how to teach A, B, C and get you to learn that. I'll get somebody to teach you that. And the father starts to look for the good school. He wants good lessons. He wants somebody to teach him how to ride the bike and exercise so that the child is healthy. I am doing all of this to make sure that you will grow, and with this guide, the tomatoes plan to grow straight. And you just put little guidelines. The father is the disciplinarian. Anytime a father is trying to be a friend, you're not doing your job. That is sin. Anytime you're trying to negotiate and bribe, Sam, Dam, Dun, Bid, when you are using the form methods that come out of your mind to coax somebody, don't mean I'll take the stick and I'll crack you. All right, that's the last resort. I could talk to you. I could plead to you. I could get vexed and I will talk to you stiff. Where if you do it for me, if you pass the exam, I'll give you the PlayStation. Bribery. Different things parents use, but the father, he is supposed to stand and talk once. All right, here, listen, done. His licks is a certain line, because if you do not put a straight line for children, the tomatoes is going to bend. When that plant bend, how are you going to straighten it up? Come by the pundit, somebody do my child over here. Pundit, my child don't listen to me. My child is an addict to drugs, to different things, to the friends. What did you do? Did you check to see the friends that they have? Did you check to see the books, if they have the books for that matter? When I was small, I know my mother said, bring the bag, let me see what you have in that book bag. And with that firm grip, you make sure your tomato plant straight. The father is no different. He gets the guru. He says, I don't know too much prayers. Let me get somebody who will instill morals. And just as Vishal and all these children, it have prayers, they sleep in here. True Gurukul, get up 4 o'clock in the morning and they're starting to make their prasad. Whole day they're going. So that when they finish, they have the experience of Bhagwat. One day they will be called upon in the house. Dad, how to make prasad? Don't worry, Daddy could do it. Mommy could do it. Cook food, Mommy could do it. Sada roti, you're eating sada roti this morning. Children cook it. Parents are behind them, holding them up. Go and learn. What I can't teach you, go and learn. Make sure you learn. Take the training. Only a poor, only a very sinful person says, you know what? You don't learn that. Don't learn more than me. It have people like that. It have people who are jealous of their own children. You don't learn, you know. You go look better than me. Don't put on your kurta, don't put on your sari, you go look better than me. You can't do that real Cinderella kind of behavior. Don't look, don't shine, don't move. In the ashram, we have Shivananda and all the instruments. Pan, on Friday evening, pan come into play in the jug. and we give them the opportunity to play and showcase, put them on the stage, put them in front. When time to talk in a job, they know how to talk. When time to work as a team, they know how to work. This father has that vision for his child. He wants this boy to become so good, so that he could stand up proficiently in any circle. That is the heart and the desire. And just like any parent here this morning, you have good intention. Until trouble comes for you. You do all the prayers. And I'm watching my tomatoes plant and I'm waiting for tomatoes. And you plant it? You ever plant garden? And you're waiting for your harvest. You're sharpening your teeth. You see September month? I'll get tomatoes to cook. And well-plant tomatoes. The rain go come. The pests go come. The neighbor go come. And your tomatoes gone. Rub you like a thief in the night. Listen to what happened to this fellow. Evam nevata satyayati lalla lalla yastam satasunaka kalloya yagya pashtaye prishyatam jaya bole baba
tab sharna jaya bole baba tab sharna jaya bole baba tab sharna jaya bole baba tab sharna jaya samba sada shiva tab sharna jaya samba sada shiva tab sharna jaya samba sada shiva tab sharna.
Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. The parent at home is trying to mold and mind and guide. And as Ajamil was his name, as he steps out one day, remember what we spoke about in our earlier discourse. Kali Yuga is living in the place with the alcohol, the gambling home or place, the prostitute house, the house where envy lives, and the goal. And whilst he was walking on the road one day, he sees Sitaram, welcome. He sees a very loose lady, a prostitute. And this lady started to talk to him, very lewd, very lustful. And in this way, he becomes intrigued, he becomes attached, he becomes lustful himself, and he wants to get to know her, he wants her. And then in this way now, he begins to live with her, and text is saying that when he gives up all the janev and all the different things his father had taught him as a young dwidge, or the person who ties the janev, with her, she pushes him. You have to make money. Money have to come here now. You have to go and work and bring money for me. And in going so, she eventually starts to get pregnant, one child after the other. And Ajamil now in this trap has to find money somehow. It says here in verse 22 that now the Brahman, although born of good genealogy, although the father did all that he had to do, now becomes a scourge, a shame upon this family. Because now he's living via kidnapping, gambling, committing fraud and theft. And this sinful fella tortures creatures, he kills animals, he's selling different things for flesh, any way to make our money. Truthfully, like a piper, like a vagrant. People talk about, I come from a lustrous family. I come from all this, and my family this, that. I went to the big school. I did this, I did that. And still you will find a person as educated as a doctor could become or fall off track, get addicted to some tablet or some medication, get so depressed, get so confused that they could commit suicide. It could happen to anybody. The problem is how, as parents, when you watch it, were you really negligent? Baba, I make my children, but me, I make the mine. Baba, I make the mind now. I'm doing all the prayers, that the purpose of the sanskara, doing the puja. Somebody asks you why it is better to do proper wedding rite, because you want to make sure, let me just say, in the section where they're doing the bawar, when they're walking around the fire and they're dropping the pop rice, the lawa, from the male, from the female, come the seed. It is a fertility rite. With mantra, I'm offering this in the fire. Bless these two people as they get married to have children and continuity. In the same way, all the prayers do, and you still get carried away. What is his interest? Not to say Gayatri mantra, not to be in a prayer like this. He wants to go and get quick money. Think about the mind, eh? In today's world, in Kali Yuga, you find this type of mentality is proliferated. It's spreading like a virus. Why don't you go to school or learn a trade and get a job? I want to get quick money. I'll jump the neighbor fence, they have chenet, I'll sell their chenet. And that makes sense for me. The person's mind is as if they're blinded. They cannot see a better way, a safer way. They must take the risk. It have some people like that. The risk. Get away from the police. I did it. I escaped today. But when you hear somebody out them or the police deal with them in a different way, depending on who they interfere with, then they have to answer for this life. For 88 years of his life, Ajamila continued in the attraction in a lustful way for this lady. He had many children. He continued gambling. Remember, we said Kali Yuga is going to use her energy to pull people to what? To get intoxicated in the gambling den. If somebody becomes addicted to alcohol, when the man who is drinking, the lady who is drinking, and they're drinking and they're drinking, it have some people have control. It have some people who don't. Think about the person who doesn't. You ever hear a person who's alcoholic tell you, yes, but I realize I really have a problem. I overdo it sometimes. I need to put it down. The first trait is a sense of denial. There's never a problem. They are alcoholic. I'm not alcoholic. They are abusive. I am not. But under the stupor of the alcohol, that is where you see the hand of Kali Yuga. It's just we putting a name to how the person goes through a transformation. The way their skin, the way their body starts to look different. Their face might get puffy. They might give off a certain odor, a scent. Is something, see there, is something is happening with this person. But what causing it? How come when you drink water, you don't look different or act different? When I drink milk, I don't look different, I don't act different. The same alcohol, they just put small amounts of alcohol in red sweet drink. When you see cola champagne sweet drink in the lab, they just put the alcohol to pull the flavor. So people who have issues with alcohol don't drink red sweet drink. So when you hear people say a doubles and a red solo, find out, you can see what I'm saying. Cola champagne has a little bit of very strong alcohol, 99% or that grade. So the logic is when they mix it, it pulls and then it will evaporate as it warms in very quickly. So it's not there when you're drinking. I could drink a red sweet drink. I'm not going to act different. Nothing is going to happen. But if somebody gets carried away with alcohol, their mood, their behavior change. You know, one day I was reading Shiv Puran, and in Shiv Puran it talks about when you're installing, not Shiv Puran, Agni Puran, sorry, when you're installing a lingam, the incense is the marijuana. Lord Shiva, it is there. When you go in different parts of India, they do offer it to him. It is the truth. So Baba, how come if Shiv Baba use it, how come I can't use it? First thing is, the reason why we don't have it in today's prayers is because we respect the law of the land. There are many examples of it. Marijuana is one. When the child is 6-7 years old, in some parts, that is the appropriate age to marry the girl. But when the law changed, we respect the law of the land. That is your regiment. So although it marked in the book offer the marijuana, to be honest, and I'm saying it because I'm answering a question, I'm not going to break the law. although it says in our dharma, in times gone by, when they hear Kanya Dan, a Kanya, like when you're doing Kanya Puja, is a young girl before the age of puberty. That is what it means. That doesn't mean I'm going to break the law and do child bride. It have many restrictions that we hold to. But in this guy's case, here, your RT people, you hear somebody say, I saw an elder in the yard. So, the person maybe gray beard, gray hair, whatsoever, respect. Out of respect, I would go and RT this person. I have no problem with that. A person full of knowledge and experience could bless me. A person, let's say we go to a wedding and the part where Pau Puja part, a married lady, wearing her sindoor, doing it right. She's giving the little gift to the now groom and dullahin. I know about marriage. I know about catching tail. I know about enjoying the good days of marriage. And I welcome you to this life. And I bless you that you have it better than me. I had it hard. I had it good. I want you to be better than me. Pau Puja part is that. The person is being blessed now because of this person's experience. But imagine this. We have an 88-year-old person who is still living a horrible, filled with horrible choices, horrible life. He is still lustful. This person is not studying God. This person does not respect the light. He doesn't light a diya, etc. This old fellow has 10 sons by this time. And the last boy, his name is Narayan. And he is very fond of this little one. This last one is his eyeball. Let's hear what happens in the next verse. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Sabudhi Narayanayetam Kalpa Brishniye Nasik Manaye Salamudhayetam Jato Brigate Ye Ati.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Ajamila used to love this child. You love all your children. But the baby brings, especially as he's getting older, in this stage of his life, he's no longer quarrelsome. He's no longer bothered by little things. Now everything this little child do, he gives a little more love, a little more acceptance. He's very cool. And he enjoys this little one, the little things the child would spill, throw down, the different works of the baby. And in this stage, the old man is very delighted by witnessing the good and the bad the child does. This filial love, this love that is holding him as if a rope is tying this parent, like how you see the animal that is going to slaughter. They tie them close to that sacrificial post. They can't go far. If this is the pole, the animal, the right hand, they're trapped. They can't move. I have the life, I have the energy, I have the willpower to move, but something is binding me right here. He used to love to feed this little boy. He used to love to give the child anything he is drinking, the baby is drinking. And in this way, the fool, listen to the word, the fool did not know the hour of his death had arrived. Yamraj had sent the doots, his workers, his emissaries, to float around the body of Ajamila, who is still full of life. Let's hear what happened. Sabarshik evam manugyata mritya kala upasthiti tetam मति मति तारक ये आए, भाले नारायण ये आती।
नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो नमः। नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो नमः।
सापक्ष्य स्थिति इंद्राते पुरुष भृगते येरणम विक्रये तांडव भर्यातम नेतुम गात ये आती।
नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो नमः। नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो
नमः परमात्मा हे नमो नमः। विष्णु भगवान की जय। Ajamil had led his life thinking that one day I will go back. I'll put on back the Janeiro. I'll go back to what my father taught me. I'll make time for it. I'll make time for prayers. I'll make time for that lifestyle. I'll make time to do it. And he didn't realize that time was done. Now, all he can think about is his son Narayan. His life, his energy, his remaining dwindling moments are only on this child. And then from the corner of his eyes, he sees three terrible male figures with scary face, causing him to become so fear-ridden that the hair on his body stand. The noose is in their hand, and they come and they throw it over the soul, the astral body, to pull it out of the physical body. As the Yamdut of the god of death, the assistants of the god of death, Yamraj, have come to pull, it is your time. And when they start to pull with the loudest voice that he can muster, he calls out to his son Narayan, who was so, as a child, absorbed in playing at a distance, paid no heed to the parent. Having heard the name Narayan, 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 and the soul is dragged out of the body. This name being uttered by this dying man, the servants of Sri Hari Vishnu immediately rush to reach there. These angels of Mahavishnu, they repel and beat and push back the attendants of Yamraj, who were beating Ajamil's soul. Prior to Lord Vishnu attendants reaching, they told him, your time on this earth is done. We saw your sin and we sharpened our pickaxe and we were ready to clobber you. And today is your day. Today we get to deal with you. And they start to beat the soul. They start to drag him, and he's still calling, wait, let me just get a hold of my son right there. Let me go back in the body just to hold him. He'll go by the fire. And the Yamdut said, no, you had enough time. This is the end. Your time is here. You have to go. We are going to the house of Yamraj. And in the moment, the Yamdut appear, and they ask, why are you beating this saint? Why are you beating this godly man? Why do you have him on the floor? Why are you defying the orders of Lord Vishnu? What are you doing? Are you forgetting the power of God? Are you forgetting the power of his name? Let's hear what happens in this slok. Shiva Om Hari Om Shiva Om Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Sanimiyate Kingdesha Upadevavya Yoyam Kim Sarva Satyatam Narayanaya Krishnaya. Come on everybody, let's chant the name of Sri Hari Vishnu this morning. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. The workers of Lord Vishnu come with all their mukta, all their forces, and they start to beat these horrific people. Why? Who sent you here? This child of Lord Vishnu has been washed pure because he died chanting the name of Lord Vishnu. What are you touching him for? He is beyond your reach. He is a siddha. He is beyond the devatas. What are you doing? And they start to share licks. Please, please do not let your ignorance block this person's passage. You're supposed to offer your head by this person's foot. The Yamdut are very confused. What are you talking about? This is a sinful man. He only did sin. Since he leave his father's house, he was only doing bad things with bad people for bad reasons. What are you talking about? He is a saint. Hear what Guruji says. Sarva padya palashesha Pitau yena shoya saha Kingriti ting punlena sang Swatikam lena ye yahi Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatma. Come on everybody. Sarve tanyutayasya sarveri pal ye chaturbhuj danurya sadagye ati chakra chakra ye Vishnu Narayanaya Krishnaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. He says, who are you? The Yamdut now, they are dressing. How is it that you look like Lord Vishnu? The weapon, the Sudarshan Chakra, the earring, the gem. How is it you look like him? Who are you guys? And they introduce themselves as the workers of Lord Vishnu. We come to do his bidding and we come to save his servant. We come to save Sitaram. We come to save his child. Because of who this individual is, how can you harm him? How can you hurt him? How can you damage him? And the Yamdut still adamant. He's a very sinful person. Please do not obstruct our work. How can you stop this from happening? The obedient servants of Yamraj, they are in shock, they are confused, they are laughing. Why are they laughing? They are saying, you say he died calling the name of your God, your master, Lord Vishnu on his mouth, on his lips. This is where the mistake is. He wasn't calling Sri Hari Vishnu Narayan, he was calling Narayan his son. If you really are the executors of the God of righteousness, then you know the truth. And in this, a person who is calling God's name by accident, how will he become freed as if he had done puja and righteousness? How could a person just by accidentally calling God's name gain that blessing? And when Mahavishnu comes on the scene, he says, you don't understand the power of my name. He says, you don't understand the virtue in chanting my name. When you speak like that and you cry down the little opportunities to say my name, it shows that as a person, you may be in the prayer, you may be a person that listens to prayer, but you do not have the right attitude to value the name, just the name. When a person says Jai Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki, I call Bihari, who is, listen to what we just be saying there. Vindravan is a place. Bihari was a person who was very blessed. A lot of the bhajans that we sing today, Bihari was the person writing it. He lived in Vrindavan. And Radha and Krishna used to come at the Sandhya hour in the evening to dance to the songs, to the poems that Bihari used to chant. So every day, if you ever see the Hare Krishna Murti where they like this, the hand, usually with a twist, like children, they come in and they're dancing and they want to hear what Bihari coming with today. Is he singing about with Prasad, our clothes? What will he describe? And every day, these two little babies are coming and dancing for Bihari. And Bihari has the opportunity to sing for them, bathe them, feed them, just like what will happen in a Hare Krishna mandir. Thoroughly take care of them. And Bihari that's his life work, that's his life focus. I have to prepare. God is coming 6 o'clock hour. God is coming 6 o'clock hour. Mother is coming, and they depend on me to bathe them, feed them, sing for them. Sing, Bihari, sing. But one day, Mother Radha is becoming a young lady. And he tells her, Mother, I am a man. I am a man, and I'm not comfortable bathing you anymore. Somebody else, my wife, another lady, somebody. Allow, with your permission, allow me to pass that blessing on to somebody out of respect for your body. And Mother Radha did not like that because it don't work so. You as an individual is given gifts, darshan, and blessing by the grace of God. It have no pollution in that. This is why when people are doing Ganesh Utsav Yag, you will hear only certain people could go and bathe that murti during the day. But when you are doing Radha and Krishna worship, if your attitude right, man, woman could approach that murti. You could go to her. She wants you, she will put you in place so that she could help you. You have to now walk through the door. You could carry the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink it. Bihari, that evening after he tells she, Ma, from today, me I go bathe you. Mother didn't say a word. Just like a parent, thank you. Just like when a parent is hurt by a child says something. Mommy, look how fat you get, eh? You go laugh when it's a baby, but when the insults, when they start to get teenager and the mouth start to get a little more bite. Everything wrong in my life is because of you. And you have to swallow that because you can't hate your own. You might bust too, cause to be honest, you might get angry, done that time, flinging you get good bill now. But you will still love that child. Radha is disappointed in what Bihari said. She's hurt. I is your mother, and you want to do seva for me. You go bathe me one day, little boy, little girl, one day mommy will get sick. You go hold my hand, you go walk me up that step, you go feed me to my mouth. I feed in your soup today, you go feed me soup one day. You go have that compassion inside of your heart to help me. So this life come like you could only take from the mother, take from the father, take. But when it's time to give back, that time it chinks in. When your mother was feeding you, she gave full cream milk, she gave the best she could afford. And she gave you the best opportunity, just like Ajamila father. But when it's time for you to feed back, well, we are bound to buy the best paint to paint the room they lie down in. We'll buy the cheap one. We are bound to buy the best sheet, Egyptian cotton, them may need that. Let me buy a Canon sheet, the cheap one, and give them that. The bare minimum, if you're lucky. Oh, they have sugar, we can't give them nice food. They're feeling to eat this, that, and the other. No. Then we give them bread and pumpkin. One slice is enough. Suffer them. This mother wanted to hear the song. Every time, think how much time you just go prayers and you say, Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Bihari had this blessing, but he didn't understand what the role he had. for them. They were so addicted, like mother and father. I come to see you every day. I want to see your face every day. Out of that love as a mother and a father, I want to just hear you now. You could give me fig, you could cook the fancy food. I just want to taste your hand. I want from you. And you're going to tell me you're going to beat me now? You're going to tell me, imagine, people is get sick. Different things start to ooze from people's body. You're going to scorn me now? When you was in Pampers, I didn't scorn you. But now I in Pampers, you're going to scorn me. The mother didn't say a word. Radharani just disappeared. Bihari make all the preparation. Like when they're taking out the feast for Krishna. Sitaram, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. You see what she have in Jihan, the kush grass? Watch how the person who know about Vishnu worship. You see how they're bringing it? I want to bring that, and what's common sense there? When you know about that kush grass, I am bringing it for me alone. I bring it what I have growing in my yard. So, Tanti, uncle, Pua, everybody getting kush grass. When I help you do your prayers, I go get blessing. That is short. So when you come into prayers, never walk with your hand empty. Don't be so crazy. You're getting a chance to worship He. Bring your little 2 flowers. Bring a neem leaf. It has no value to that money-wise, but the spiritual value that you need the help. You need the help. I will come with my hand empty, but I want to go home with my hand full. Bihari now, he take out and he fix, he make the best. They tell you Tulsi in the Katha when she tell Ganesh, look, watch how beautiful I am. And she spreads her hand. It have a name for Tulsi, the one who stretches her hand wide. Ganapatika and Bhagwat Puran is where the discourse, where Ganesh gives you the strap. Do not come in my puja. But Ganesh in that moment where he wearing blue dhoti, he said, I'm sitting here praying to Krishna. And he's very forgiving. When you come as the plant, why did she come as a plant? Think about what I said. If every Devi Ganga is up, you could have a Ganga Murti. You go to a Shakti temple, you'll see it. Shashti Murti, different form, Murti. But Tulsi stays as a shrub, as a plant, because when she stretches her hand and she say, watch my body, I want to marry. Watch how young, good looking I am, sexy I am. Married me. He says anybody who portray the body, like to show nakedness, like to show vulgarity in your next life, like a mango tree. You know, when Krishna had to go and drag the mortar and pestle between the 2 trees, the 2 brothers were naked and they get the strap. That nakedness cause you now, okay, in your next life, born as a tree, I will take the soul of the person, God says, and I'll put you in the mango tree. Stretch your hand now. And lay all your fruits, let everybody see it. You want to advertise? Advertise now. And she remained there in that form as a plant. But he said to her, go and become the best flowers for Christians' worship. So Bihari knew that, and he takes the flower, he cut just where the flowers finish, he cut underneath, and there's a way you tie the string without making a knot. I think you call it a Gordian's knot, I'm not sure. And they make it where the tip down, so it looks like a kind of wreath effect. There's a way to do it. Just like how you could plait the do grass for Ganesh. So imagine the level of time, effort, he did it. 6 o'clock come, nobody didn't reach. Nobody for the first time. Nobody was there. He had this song. He wrote a song every day for Radha and Krishna. Every day, every day, every day. And nobody's coming. Days are passing. Nobody's coming. Imagine the person's heart like a parent. Not don't check it like God. Check it like your children. And I can't see this child. I cannot see this child. Where this child? Where this child? When you going to come? When you going to come home for me to feed you? And he sat down crying. The only thing he could have offered that evening as time is passing is tears. And Christian feels sorry for him. When people are doing Christian worship, remember what I'm telling you, I'm reading these things so that you'll get ready for Krishna. You're ready yet? Kripa Raj is one of the names of Krishna, the person who is in charge of mercy. You go to Hanuman Baba, Mahabir Swami, take away the anxiety attack. Give me the courage. Give me the strength to do what I have to do. Make me brave. I have an interview. I have to stand up in the work and do what I have to do. Make me brave. I go by Hanuman, I'll get her. When I go to Krishna, I'm praying for mercy. I have this trouble and I do not know what to do. I have a grievance. I have a pain. I have a suffering and I don't know what to do. Have some mercy on me and fix it. Krishna came, although Radha is vexed, although he did this and he upset the lady and it have different discourse with that. That is where, when she get vexed, that is how we end up with this. You see that same Sudama, millionaire Sudama? See, he caused this. And it come when Radha get vexed. Krishna come and he says, oh Bihari, don't cry. That time for me to come and play with you in living, breathing form, that time pass. We will come, but we will come in a murti. If you go Vrindavan now, Bihari's temple is still there. And people go just to see the way the crowd is dense, just to see the murti, to have darshanam. Darshanam, I just want to see it. Remember in Trinidad, in the West Indies, you get to touch the murti, you get to go by the murti, and you still don't want to do it. But in India, just like how it have this barrier here, if you go out the road by the Dattatreya temple, I bet you will never get to touch that murti. In India, you could be what temple, you don't get to touch that murti. They might, when they ask you a name, and the person sees the Janiwan Baba chest and they hear go sign, they will open the gate and they will let us go in to touch the murti. Lalita Devi, etc. Different Jyotirlingam, etc. But the typical person lines up and they might come to the barrier here and they come with a tali with whatever they have, laddu, whatsoever. They take it from you, they go touch it by the murti and they come back to you with it. This Bihari murti with Krishna, they definitely don't lay a touch it. He is up a step. And in that kind of away from people, people send the mala, they send the flowers, they send the mahanbhog. The mahanbhog, the halwa, how we make it, what we call suji powder, cream of wheat in Trinidad, they make it different. You could hold it and make like peace in your hand. And the only thing you get, let's just say John offer mala, I touch the murti, Keshava going to get the mala from the murti. So they'll come and give you flowers, they'll give you the mala off the murti, and a person bow to it because it's touched by God. They're glad for a little piece of parasad soup. It's touched by God, and you take it. Bihari, when the murti takes shape and it stands firm, he says, I will never rob myself of the opportunity to serve you. You give me the murti, you give me the foot, you give me the hand and the sense to serve you, but I rob myself. People might say, as a mother, Baba, I can't come to the Bhagwat, the child sick. Baba, the husband is get on, I can't come. That person is blocking you from doing fine. But in Kali Yuga, where truth is on the decline, if you look at it, where there's a will, you will reach, you will find a way. You may reach late, you may come with all the fancy clothes, you might come with one flowers, not a whole mala. I didn't have time to make the mala, Baba, but I picked one flowers. I will do it. But when you have that lethargy, oh God, I really bong to go, boy. I say now in this chair comfortable, me go in and offer flowers by the God who make me now. Everybody go see me. Everybody go see me that time. Ajamila was a character like that. Ajamila was a character like that. He reached now so sinful, he lived that life. We are going in the temple for. When he would go in the temple, because he going to bow. I don't know if you ever hear about this, but people is put different prayers. They put a little gold chain and little bera and different thing. And in there you see it quite common. The murti, I'm putting mother, I'm giving Durga Mata murti in particular, I'm giving bera, gold, etc. I have a bera and I have two sons that they're fighting over it. I'm giving it in my prayers. Fight now. Don't let this cause your trouble. Don't let this cause your trouble. I'm giving it. So the older people would give it in dance. Something similar to what we do with the Gita book, the little piece of gold. But now, give it away. Don't let it cause trouble, if in the case it causing trouble. But when Ajamila went in the mandir, he went to see what Durga Mata Murti had. And when nobody are watching, because nobody are coming, after they close the curtain to give the Devta a rest, have you ever seen that part? In the temple where the life is imbibed within the Murti, there's an hour, you have an appointment, you go and you see the Murti, you bow, you say your prayers. And then they'll draw a curtain to give God a chance to change clothes, like a person. And when they would draw the curtain, there he would get in and steal all the gold, all the jewel, all the clothes. He would sell the Murti's clothes. Book it. Anybody who take karma real, anybody who interfere with clothes that charhawe for Murti, you damn that Murti, interfere with the Murti, you take what from that Murti, it have God there, you will pay for it. Remember what this stupid pundit telling you. When you hear people hands start to break and hands start to ring, it didn't happen just so. But Bihari is an example, not like Ajamila. Ajamila life leave the body and he didn't learn his lesson. Bihari is somebody who realized, catch yourself. Whilst life is within your body, still do what you could do. And he continued singing constantly. And as I said, many of the bhajan that you and I know came from him. Till today, Vrindavan, Bihari Lal, the Lal or the son of Bihari, we bow to you, celebrate him. In the street, if out of kicks, I remember I did it. Bihari Lal, the entire street, all the vendor, all the shop owner, everybody, Lal Ki Jai. It have no shame. I celebrate because like the child, when you see the person put the two hands up like this, and you see people do that already, they're mimicking what Krishna and Radha was doing by Bihari. Bihari, them used to, his children used to dance like this as if they have nothing, they want nothing, they're going, they're dancing free. And when the person putting up their hand like this, I'm not asking for everything I give away. I'm giving you lock, stock, and barrel, Krishna. Take me, take it. In this way, I expect people like Bihari, these two, the Yamdut, the Vishnu Dut, they're arguing. I expect good people like Bihari to come into the heavenly region. How could somebody who is the opposite to Bihari, a sinful person, Prabhu, how could that person get this type of reward? Let's hear what happens in this verse. I don't feel knocked for this one. This one different. I go lost time. Keep the drum, but don't knock. Next one you knock for. Phoolon mein saj rahi hai Shri Vrindavan Bihari. Close your eyes and right where they say, Prabhu, I come to offer you a pool of flowers. Bring the sweetness in my life, help me. Shri Vrindavan Bihari aur saat saj rahi hai Vishwan ke dulari. Tera samukut sar par lakha kisi anda se. Tera samukut sar par lakha kisi anda se. Phoolon mein saj rahi hai Shri Vrindavan Bihari. Veda Puran hetu Dharma dharam yadvijyate. Vedo Narayana Mukti Dhyana Bharo. Shatru Jivana Mukti Hesu Ye na bhava ye rajan. Phoolon mein saj rahi hai The name of Mahavishnu is the greatest dharma. That when a person utilizes this tool, this dharmic tool, this tool of righteousness, truthfulness, this tradition brings about a person's transformation from unrighteous to righteous, adharma to dharma, bringing a person back simply by chanting the name of God is possible. Oh, you work for Yamraj. You're supposed to be the people who understand dharma, but you don't. This is why you are talking in a very confused way. In this age of Kali Yuga, many people will never understand the potency of the name of God. For this reason, you will reach in the Yagna. You will reach in the place where the puja is being done. But to lift your lip, to say the prayer. How many times Parental is be telling you, sing now, clap a little bit now, sham them singing, Shri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama. The poor drummer beating out his life. He come to help you pray. Just chant the name of God, na man. Come on, na man. And you still sit down like somebody put a padlock here and bind you with chain. So sinful we could be. That God give you the opportunity, the darshan day, and ask yourself today, why really are so lazy for? What holding me back? What holding me down? Ajamila listening to this discourse, and he asks himself, and the Yamdu turn on him. Puran tell you that when they start to beat the sinful fella, God give you 60 years, you fool. How much time you feed people, how much time you feed animal, how much mistake you make, how much time you throw away in lusting and running behind fruitless things, things that have no value. Now you want mercy, now you want benefit. Take what you work for. Take the licks, take the punishment. He says, if I had only known, if I only knew. But you know what's the catch in this? Although the lady he married was a prostitute, although she was living a very vulgar life, she knew the value of the name of God. So when it came to do the Nam Sanskar of her 10 children, she put proper name. You know what I just do? I like my toe. I remember this analogy when Panditanan read this years ago. I like my toe and I like my knee, so I'll name the child Tony. Nothing against anybody named Tony. But when you love your children, think what the Hindu does. The Hindu puts proper name, Ram, Ramchandra, Krishna. They put name, you know what, I love that person. And every time I call that person, I train myself to chant the name of God. Every time I get vexed, every time I wear my wallet, I call it, help me get my wallet, help me get the phone, mop this room, clean your room, but you're calling the name. But you know what we just do? We'll give up the Kumari Devi and we'll call ourselves, from today I'm Sukumari. I'll transform the name. I'll hide Hemwati. I'll give up that. Radha Devi becomes Devi. People throw away their traditions and you use names that have no value, hollow names that have no meaning to you. But when you're in the position like Ajamila, you're going to call what you know. You're going to say what you're accustomed saying. Do you really think the mantra you never chant in your whole life, you said it once with Parental, you're going to chant it when you're in pain? You're going through some kind of thing, I can't breathe. You're going to remember that mantra? God bless you if you could. Listen to what Ajamila is hearing. And Ved Vyas puts this in Bhagwat so that we could hear it too. फूलों में सज रही है श्री वृंदावन बिहारी सूर्यो अग्निरेखा मरुत्य गावो सोमो गावो ये गौ माता देश कुंभलोक Dharma dharma ye hridaya dvijayate sahitam. The sun, the fire god, the wind, the cow, the protector of the cow, the Goswami, the Gosai, the Gosai, these people, these entities, these time, the moon god, the twilight, the Dwij, the person who is wearing the Janev, the day, the night, the cardinal point, the north, when they're doing the wedding and they bow to the North Star, the water element, the earth element, the concept of time, dharma, all these are different faces of Krishna. But when a person is ruled by unrighteousness, they cannot see God at the twilight hour. So to light the diya for Sandhya, difficult. To get up before the rising of the sun, difficult. To bow to the wind when the jandi is blowing, difficult. To touch the fire when you are bowing to the arti, difficult. When you offer the jal to the earth and you have to touch the earth, difficult. It is as if the true demon in our life is not something else or somebody else. It is the laziness demon that dwells and holds down a person from doing what God thinks you could do. And when you reach to that position that you're holding yourself back, then you realize, I'm not moving forward in my life. Sitaram. Ekarad have jnana danda danda nigase. That Lord of mercy, to save you now from yourself, gives you testing moment, gives you trouble. Remember, Hinduism, in other religions, we have it easy, you know. You have a concept of a devil. Good come from God and devil give you bad. How much time we hear we say, the devil is a busy man. Look, so and so happened, the devil busy, the devil working. But in Hinduism, it have no devil. Truthfully, when you say God make everything, God make everything. That Durga, for example, when you do good, like your maternal, like your biological mother, when you do good in the exam, mommy will caress and bless and cut the cake and celebrate you. Just like your mother, that mother does the same. That triangle with those 64 flags, when she's happy, the press goes easy. Food doesn't spoil. People don't vex. It have no sickness, no cut, no blood loss, etc. Very happy. Good job. Keep going. But when she's not happy with you, that same lady, that 64 flag, that's why we're doing that worship. Mother, you are the energy of, we talked about menstruation yesterday. Don't let my belly spoil, truthfully. Let me get through with my prayers. Don't let me get infection in my ears. Let me be able to get through with my prayers. Don't let the bacteria hit the food and it spoil the food. Let me get through with the prayers. Don't let somebody's temper corrupt my prayers. Let me get through with my prayers. When you do good, she will reward you. But when you do bad, she will put it on you and punish you. Be fair. Isn't your mother in the house the person who will pick up the dabla or the belt and crack you when you do wrong? And you know what everybody will say? Wow, she's such a good mother. She really disciplines her children. If she don't do it, she negligent, she wrong. God make you a mother and you didn't do your job. You're starting to be friend. That is not your job. You could be friendly if they're doing good. But you have to put the guidelines like how Ajamil father puts for him. In this thing, when the unrighteousness lives within the person's heart, trouble come. What is happening when you start to dream bad? When you start to feel sick? When in the house, trouble. Baba, what to do, boy? And Pandit Sunil says, start a fast. Start to pray. Start to change. Put some effort. Sacrifice. Yagna means sacrifice. It does not mean financial sacrifice alone. Sometimes it's just for your hand to lift, to do the arati, to make an offering of flowers. What you was not doing before. You was not doing the Havan. The Hotri Pandit Varun, he's offering for those 64 names. Mother, please Shanti. Mother, please Shanti. Why we just put the Pandit to sit down by the Havan gun? Sit down and Shanti that lady so that we could all enjoy the prayer. understand his purpose. If he doesn't do it, the other Baba busy saying prayers, blowing song, who going to say it? If the prayers is not done properly, how are we going to get through? Likewise, in your individual home, there is something called Nitya Karma. Let's say Sandhya worship, lighting the little diya, offering the dar, and sitting where you is today. Krishna is around you, in the wind, in the sun. We bow to everything, the plant, the flowers plant, the animal. We worship, we feed everything. When it has Bandara, for example, cow get food, dog get food, ants get food, bird get food, fish get food, people get food, everybody feed in that time. We see God in everybody. If you could live like that, then it's going to be hard to do this. See, Dharam? But when you're studying, this one is Dalit, and that one is Sudra, and that one is Chamar, and I'm a Brahman, and I'm a Brahman, you talk with that little accent there, I'm a Brahman, and I cannot bow to somebody. Well, brother, I wonder if it have a Brahman soul. If you get honest, you could have a Brahmin body. You're born as a woman, you could have a female body. But when the soul of the female jump out and the soul of the man jump out, is there a difference? No. In this janam, you're a female. In your next janam, you could be a mango tree. When in the section of our text, he describes what the jiva is. In Bhagwat Gita, he said the water can't wet it, the blade can't cut it, etc. And he describes how this thing looks like a diya flame. That is why we hold on to the diya. This is what we expect God to look like, energy. In this, it does not have human features, male or female, hands, foot, etc. This is just the energy, like a battery, that powers the male, powers the female, power the dog, power everything. Dear God, you are the energy. But then if I know this, what is holding me back from acknowledging I see the God in you? Sitaram. Sitaram. What holding you back from doing this? What do you feel? If I do this, it take away from you? As a guru, I have to lead. This is why, if you see me do Hawan, if you see me do Puja, Arti the Pandit, wash the Pandit foot, I have to see God. Me and about the rest of them. I have to see God too. So I will lead, and I will show these children and anybody interested, this is how we do it. Prayer is not for some, prayer is for all. But for some people, you have to do that. You're sinful. I am not. When sickness hit you, I bet you will be looking for God, like how Bihari was looking out for God to come look for him. But when you become a stranger to him, you're singing, you're feeding, you're doing, he have a relationship with you. What are you coming by you for? Some people will tell you, I'm like Shabri. I waited my whole life to see God. I have all the flowers in my yard. I have all the fruit trees. I have everything. I could make every recipe you could describe. But I feel like God forget me. Some people have that kind of karma. But imagine, it have people who live very far and have to watch you on TV. And it have some people who would be invited. You are so important that the person, the host, the pundit, the now, the friend, the shrota, somebody say, Hiana, I know you know much about press, but I hear you in the country a little bit. Let me just say a foreign. We haven't press. Come. You reach. God bless you. You didn't have to pick the flowers. You didn't have to pick the leaf. You didn't have to do nothing. It's sit down waiting on you. What keeping you from doing the press? I don't know the mantra. I don't know how to hold our flowers. You know better than that. When you really watch yourself, then, as Ajamila says here, this unrighteousness started with me. The choices that I made as a person caused me to fall from grace. But because of the lady choice of name for these children, the name, doing Nam Sanskar, that is when the father, if you ever see that prayers, after they do the Devatas and the babies, Sodas Matrika Puja is done, the father just whisper in this ears, from today, your name will be Premnath. You will be called Ramchandra. You will be linked to this surname, Singh family, because we don't know where you're coming from, what family you belong to. From today onward, going on till you die. Remember, when the person die now, you will still be offering tarpan, you will still be offering shrad. So the soul that getting it may be going somewhere else. But because in the Nam Sanskar, I am tying you now to this family name. When the family do good, you will benefit from it now and going forward. When I was given the opportunity to give name to the 10 children, I followed the instruction. I really whisper Narayan, Satya into the ears of all the boys, and I bless them, be better than me. In the next years, I bless you as your father, that you will ascribe and become better educated, better temper, better behavior. You will be better than me. And there is where your father gives you the direction. If a person could just do that and practice chanting the name of God, they wouldn't end up in this position. In fact, like Ajamila, who gets the mukti, who gets the liberation, he goes to Vaikunt. He doesn't come back. He's not in trouble anymore because of the purifying power of the name of God. In this case, Narayan. Hari Narayana. And you hear them singing? Don't get catch, Sing it. Sing it. You see, just now I was just reading out. We could do satsang like that. Sada satsang. No music. No chanting. But the reason the person trying to knock the drum and they playing the melody, think about, sometimes you go Ramayana and it is here, Tumhi meri man Jaya Rama Sita Ram, and they sing it like that. When you hear it, the brain, it is associate. Oh, I know that song. I could sing that song. I don't need the harmonium. I could chant it. And you'll catch the person out like a child to sing along. And in a very coaxing way. Sam, Dam, Dhan, Bed. See the bribery, the catch, the person is trying to get you to chant the name of God. Come out of that. You're supposed to know for yourself, like Bihari, the value of that name. Nobody have to tell you that. Please remember that as we go forward in our discourses and we start to chant Krishna name, understand the value of what you are getting and prepare yourself for your Krishna. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. I think Hawan is finished. Yeah. Everybody, we need to close this session because we're ready to go again. Everybody, let's stand. Take a second. I'm going to chant one more as it's the Adig Mass. People have financial problems in today's world. After this pandemic, many people still worried about their next meal. So during this time, we chant from the Nursing Puran, the Rina Mochan Narsim Stotra. Rina Mochan is where you are asking God to save me from the financial debts, the burden of bills. I am using my prayer to get the physical help that I need. Devata Kara Siddhya Artam Sabhastamba Samudbhavam Shri Narsimha Mahaviryam Namami Irina Muktayeta Antramala Dhara Shanka Chakrab Yudha Darinyam Shri Narsimha Mahaviram Namami Irina Muktayet Prahalad Varadam Shirasam Dyaiteshwara Vidharnam Shri Narsimha Mahaviram Namami Irina Muktayet. Dear God, in everything that we have going on, sometimes I'm distracted, I'm stressed out because of the bills. Help me to pay and service what I owe. Help me to save what I have. And bless me to have long-term planning for the family and for myself. Let's join together as we do our arti. Put your hand to your chest. We want to be better from today, listening to that discourse properly read. It is not only that he called the name of God, but you have to think about the mindset. Think about the admission that I am really a sinful person. I really throw away a life of opportunity. The arti going on, Panikeshava, telling you, take up the flowers. You don't wait for somebody to tell you. You go. That is your God. That is why the murti is there. Take the flowers, take the tulsi, and just rest it by your foot. Don't worry to sit down and do the whole puja, but make sure and get some blessing. The day sickness, the late trouble come looking for you, you will glad for the opportunity. For people who sit in for the next pahar, don't wait. Go and do your offering. It is still Shravan month. Offer the water and the lingam. This is the first day of the Adigmas. Touch the Vishnu Murti. Go and bow by that shaligram and make sure you come better. Better than Ajamil. Better than Bihari. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam yajnayojitam mayam Dipam grehana devesham Trailokya timirapaham.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को